Okay, now time for the reviews for the two films I've seen so far in February. Now, I know I might be going kind of fast, but I actually find it boring and, quite frankly, annoying to listen to myself for 10 straight minutes, so I think you guys will enjoy the brisker reviews. I'm going to try to time in the double reviews at about 5 minutes, and the DVD reviews, which might actually become the meat and potatoes of this channel, since I'll be making them more often, should be slightly longer, maybe around 6 or 7 minutes, depending on how many releases we had that week and how many I saw. Now, on to Crazy Heart. This film has been expanding nationwide for God knows how long, and finally it made it to my town. Good thing this movie season is so oversaturated with films that last less than a month, because it means that more films will be having room to expand when other movies leave so quickly. This film stars Jeff Bridges as a down-and-out country singer named Bad Blake, who has fallen from the ranks where he was presumably one of the best country singers in the 1970s. He tries to reconquer the stage and conquer his alcohol problems. I really loved Bridges' performance. I think it may be close to the best of the year. However, it pains me to say that the rest of the film is pretty much a more Hollywoodized rehash of Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler. I mean, right down to the scenes with the rejected child, the damaged love interest that gives him sound advice, the low-rent places of employment only to have a magical signing to a big deal. It's all there. Now, I love The Wrestler, but honestly, Crazy Heart is cheapened a bit by it. I still think Crazy Heart's a good movie and one that should be seen, but like I said, it's a Hollywoodized version. The Wrestler had ambiguity going for it. Crazy Heart doesn't. It's lacking a bit in terms of realism. I think the songs are top-notch, though, and I think Duvall does a great job in his supporting role. Maggie Gyllenhaal was asked to do a bit too much, I think, with her role. They kind of put a bunch of different characters into one and kind of ask her to play a bunch of different parts, I think. I can forgive that because she does do her best. I don't think she really deserved her Best Supporting Actress nomination, but she wasn't bad. And in the end, it's not a great film, but it's a good one. I may be being too harsh on it, pretty much, because of The Wrestler. But I'm going to give it 3 stars anyway. And now for the stormy past of the film that is Joe Johnston's The Wolfman. Originally, this was supposed to be written by Andrew Kevin Walker, who wrote the amazing screenplays for Seven and Sleepy Hollow back in the 90s. And it was supposed to be directed by Mark Romanek, best known for directing Nine Inch Nails' video for Closer, also from the 90s. This would have made for a killer film, dark, brooding, psychological. Over budget disagreements, Romanek left and Jurassic Park 3 director Joe Johnston stepped in and promptly hired David Self, who wrote the Haunting remake, to rewrite the script. It's still in the horror realm, but obviously I was not as excited as I would have been for Walker and Romanek. In the end, it's actually much better than a film with this turbulent of a production history has any right to be. Benicio del Toro does a very good job in the film, as does Anthony Hopkins. It actually retains some of the psychological elements I would have expected from the Walker-Romanek adaptation. I'm not saying it's great. I mean, it's not. But it's serviceable, and it borders on actually being good. It plays a bit too much on the jump scare, and the CGI gets a bit lame, especially when used in place of animals when an animatronic would have sufficed. Neatly enough, most of the gore effects are practical. I personally like to compare how effective the gore in this film is as compared to the gore in a film like Ninja Assassin, which is almost 100% CGI. This film wins by a long shot. Now, The Wolfman is still lacking, especially in balancing long periods of psychoanalysis with the all-out Jumanji-esque battle sequences. Overall, I enjoyed it, but it ultimately delves too much into Hollywood convention for my taste. Overall, I was also bored by some of the sort of more period film elements of it as well. It didn't really balance it out as well as it could have. In the end, I'm giving it 2.5 stars out of 4, though, because it really does have some good moments in it.